Hello and welcome to In the Kitchen with Matt. I am your host, Matt Taylor. Today, I'm going to show you how to make an amazing homemade pumpkin pie. Oh yeah. Growing up, pumpkin pie wasn't my favorite. I preferred something like apple pie or a berry pie. But as I get older, I appreciate pumpkin pie much more. And this recipe is fantastic. It's really easy to do. If I can do it, you can do it. Before I move on, make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you won't miss out on any of my new videos. Let's get baking. Down below in the description box, you'll find the list of the ingredients and all the amounts. First, you need a 9-inch pie crust and pie plate or pie pan. And this is a homemade pie dough. You can use store-bought as well. But up in the corner, there's a little eye. If you click on that, you'll find the video on how to make this pie crust. Really easy, it's super delicious, it's awesome. So I'm going to put this in the freezer for about 10 minutes while I preheat the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Once the pie crust has chilled sufficiently in the freezer, the oven is preheated to 375 Fahrenheit, 190 Celsius. I'm going to take a sheet pan, or you can use a cookie sheet, and place that on there. This is just so it's easier to take out of the oven. And I'm going to put in this parchment paper. Bear with me here, this might seem a little weird. Just going to put this on there, on the bottom. And you could use what they're called pie weights. You can use those, or just take some beans. Some beans here. And we want to just weigh this down so the pie is about half full. And what we are doing is we are making sure that the pie crust keeps its shape. Not everyone does this, so it's not a necessary technique. So if you don't have this stuff, then don't worry about it. And what we're going to do is it's called blind baking. We're going to blind bake our crust or our pie dough first for 15 minutes. And this will ensure that the bottom of it is nice and done and doesn't get soggy when we put in the filling. All right, so let's put this in the oven for 15 minutes. Now, once it comes out of the oven, let's remove our beans and parchment paper. And then what we will do is we will put this back in the oven. And we want to cover the edges a little bit. Take some foil and fold it in half. And then we are going to cover the edges with foil. And this is going to protect the edges so they don't get too brown. All right, back in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. And the bottom should be a slight golden brown. And while the pie crust is baking in the oven for the second time, we are going to make our pie filling. And we are going to start with 3 egg yolks from large eggs. 1 large egg with the white. And I just save the other egg whites and make like a white omelet with it. And then with a whisk these eggs up. All right. Now let's add in sweetened condensed milk. This is 14 ounces, 396 grams. Standard size here in the United States. Let's add in the pumpkin puree. This is 15 ounces, or 425 grams. Another standard size here in the United States. And because I like mine a little sweeter, on the sweeter side, I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of white granulated sugar, 1/4 cup of brown sugar, light brown sugar. Optional, that sugar is optional. The sweetened condensed milk is fairly sweet by itself. And then we have a bunch of spices to add in here. Cinnamon, love cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon of ground ginger, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Or you can, all those 4 spices minus the salt, you can just use a thing called pumpkin spice where it has all those in it already. And you'll want to do 1 full teaspoon of pumpkin spice and then another 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, ground cinnamon, if you want to go that route. And then another optional ingredient that I like to add is 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then I'm going to start by stirring this together with my spatula. Come in with my whisk. And let's whisk it up. Look at that, you can totally see all the spices and things in there. Awesome. And we don't want to whisk it too much, just until it's nice and combined. All right, now it's ready to go into our pie crust once that's ready. And once it comes out of the oven, we can remove these, but we will save them because we might want to put them back on halfway through baking our pie. And if you notice, I don't know if you can see how well you can see it on the camera, slightly golden brown on the bottom there. And then what we'll do is we'll take our pie filling, and in it goes. And just scrape it all out with your spatula. And just give it a slight jiggle, just so those bubbles can settle a little bit. And now into the oven it goes. And we're going to bake it for 45 to 55 minutes. And we're going to turn the heat down to 325 Fahrenheit or 162 Celsius. Into the oven we go. And then what we'll do is we're going to, after about halfway through, we're going to take a peek in there and see how brown the edges are getting. If they're getting too brown, we'll just put these foil guards back on to protect it. And then what we're going to do is we want to get it to where there's just a slight jiggle in the middle. It's going to be dry around the outside, and then it's going to jiggle slightly in the middle, and that will be done. But it's going to take 45 to 55 minutes. And when it comes out of the oven, it'll look something like this. Nice and dry on the edges. And when you jiggle it, it'll be just a slight jiggle right there in the middle. And now we let it cool for at least 2 to 3 hours just here at room temperature before we can eat it. All right, our pie is nice and chilled. If you notice, it was domed a little bit before when it came out of the oven, but it's completely flat now. It smells amazing. Time to serve up a piece. I'm gonna come in here right in the middle. And it helps if you have like some hot water that you can dip your knife in, and then you rinse it off. So you get the blade hot and it cuts through it pretty well. Sometimes the first cut is a little tricky to get out. See if we can get it out without damaging the tip a little bit. Oh, pretty good. There you go, and look at that. Pumpkin pie. Yeah. All right, and then now I want to come in here with some whipped cream. You can do homemade whipped cream. I've always loved this stuff since I was a little kid, the kind that you just spray on there, but I make homemade whipped cream a lot too. And then, to make it a little more fancy, I'm going to come in here with a little bit of ground cinnamon. And go on the top. Like that. Awesome. And that is how you make an amazing pumpkin pie. Really easy to do. If I can do it, you can do it. I'm Matt Taylor. This has been another episode of In the Kitchen with Matt. Thank you for joining me. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or requests, put them down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thumbs up, down the corner, push it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos. Take care. Time for me to dive into this. Oh yeah, get some of that whipped cream.